Was he a hero or a villain, a Death Eater or Dumbledore's man? The truth is, Severus Snape was never just one thing. He was a boy lost in shadow, a man broken by guilt, and a soul defined not by what he became, but by what he lost. This is not a story of redemption. It's not even a story of forgiveness. It is a tragedy, one written in silence, in secrets, and in the kind of love that never fades, even when it's never returned. This is the story of Severus Snape. Welcome to the Forgotten Mage. He was born in a house where magic was not joy. It was pain. Spinner's End was a narrow street, cloaked in soot and silence. Within the Snape household, laughter was a foreign language. His father, Tobias, was a Muggle man poisoned by resentment. His mother, Eileen, a witch who had once belonged to a proud family, now withered beneath disappointment. There was no warmth between them, only silence, sharp words, and sometimes worse. From a young age, Severus learned to hide his powers, hide his bruises, hide his thoughts. But there was one place he could not hide from, the yearning inside him for something more, something magical, something beautiful. And he found it for the first time in a girl. Her name was Lily Evans. He watched her from a distance at first, a Muggle girl in the same broken neighborhood, but one with light in her eyes and kindness in her laughter. He saw what she could do, floating briefly when she jumped, coaxing flowers to bloom with a touch. He recognized it instantly. She was like him. He told her the truth, one summer afternoon beneath a tree as they sat in the sun, that she wasn't ordinary, that she was magic. He expected fear or rejection. Instead, she smiled. That smile Severus would remember all his life. From that day on, they were inseparable. He told her everything he knew about wands and spells, about Hogwarts, about the houses and the ghosts, and the mysteries hidden in the castle's walls. It didn't matter that they came from different worlds. With Lily, Severus felt whole. But the world does not reward boys like Severus Snape for being whole. At Hogwarts, the rift began. The Sorting Hat divided them like fate. Lily into Gryffindor, the house of bravery and light. Severus into Slytherin, where ambition curdled quickly into cruelty. Their paths, once one, began to diverge. Slytherin did not embrace him. He was a half-blood, poor, ill-dressed, awkward, but he survived. He studied harder than anyone, especially in potions and defense against the dark arts, subjects where control mattered, where silence had power, where knowledge was sharper than fists. Still, outside the classroom, he was vulnerable. There were others, crueler, louder boys who made him their target. James Potter, Sirius Black, boys from Gryffindor who would become legends to everyone but him. To Severus, they were tormentors. And though Lily defended him at times, it only made the shame worse. But it was the friendships he made in Slytherin that concerned her most. Boys like Mulciber and Avery who flirted with dark magic and sneered at Muggleborns. Severus didn't care. He needed allies. He needed protection. But Lily saw what he would not. As he grew older, his obsession with dark magic deepened. He read from the restricted section. He experimented with jinxes and curses that left others in pain. And always he clung to his friendship with Lily, the last good thing left in him, until he broke it. It happened during their 5th year. James Potter humiliated him in front of half the school, dangled him upside down, exposed, mocked. And when Lily came to defend him, Severus, burning with rage and shame, spat the word that shattered their bond forever. Mudblood. The moment it left his mouth, he knew. Lily stared at him, hurt, disgusted, done. He tried to apologize, pleaded, begged, but she would not forget, and he would never forgive himself. It was the turning point. The boy who loved Lily Evans died that day. In his place stood someone else, the half-blood prince. With Lily gone from his life, Severus threw himself fully into the darkness. The allure of Voldemort's rising power, seductive, pure, absolute, gave him direction. The Dark Lord promised a new world, a world where power ruled and weakness was erased. And Severus, angry, wounded, and brilliant, was welcomed into the fold. He became a Death Eater. He marked his skin with the Dark Mark. And for a time he believed, until he heard the prophecy. A child born at the end of July, one who would have the power to defeat the Dark Lord. Severus passed the information to Voldemort, thinking it a minor detail. But Voldemort believed it referred to Harry Potter. And Harry Potter was the son of James Potter and Lily Evans. Only then did Severus realize what he had done. He ran to Dumbledore, not as a spy, not as a follower, but as a man begging for mercy. "Hide her, hide them all, I will do anything." But Dumbledore, ever composed, made no promises. He hid the Potters, yes, but magic could only do so much, and in the end it was not enough. Voldemort came. He killed James, killed Lily, and tried to kill the child. He failed. But Severus Snape lost everything. The guilt did not fade. It hollowed him, destroyed him. He no longer lived for himself, only for the memory of Lily and for her son, the boy who lived. Dumbledore took him in, not as a friend, but as a tool, a spy, a guardian. Severus accepted. He returned to Hogwarts, not as a student, but as a master. He taught potions, kept to the dungeons, said little, trusted no one, and Harry arrived. He hated him, or so he thought. The boy looked too much like James, arrogant, loud, reckless. But then there were the eyes, Lily's eyes. Every time he looked at Harry, Severus was reminded of her, of the promise he made, of the failure that haunted him. So he protected Harry with spells, with potions, with quiet interventions no one saw. But he masked it all behind cruelty, detention, coldness, bitterness, because love for Severus had become indistinguishable from pain. The war returned. Voldemort rose again. Dumbledore's army grew. And still, Severus stood on the knife's edge. A double agent, a liar, a man playing both sides. Dumbledore trusted him with more than anyone else. With the truth, with the future, even with the act that would damn him further, the murder of Dumbledore. It had to look real. Voldemort had to believe it. So Severus did what no one else could. He killed the only man who trusted him to save Draco, to preserve the plan, and to protect the boy he hated and loved. He became headmaster. The castle changed. Dark forces occupied it. He walked the halls a shadow of himself, surrounded by enemies, despised by students, alone in every way. But even then, he was protecting them, always until the final hour, when Voldemort demanded the Elder Wand, and the wand, which would not obey him, had last belonged to Dumbledore. And it was Severus who killed Dumbledore, so Voldemort turned on him. In the Shrieking Shack, with Nagini watching, Severus Snape was murdered. He died not on the battlefield, not in glory, but in pain, in blood, and alone. Except he wasn't alone. Harry came, and Severus, with his final breath, looked up at him and said, "Look at me," because he wanted to see Lily's eyes just once more. And then he gave Harry the truth. Was Severus Snape a hero, or simply a broken man trying too late to make things right? Let us know what you believe in the comments below. Harry saw the memories. He saw the childhood, the laughter, the love. He saw the betrayal, the regret, the years of silent service. He saw the truth, and he forgave him. After the war, Harry told the world that the man they hated had saved them, that courage does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers from the shadows. Sometimes it suffers in silence. He named his son Albus Severus. You were named after two headmasters of Hogwarts. One of them was a Slytherin, and he was the bravest man I ever knew. Severus Snape was not a good man. He was cruel, vindictive, bitter. But he was also loyal, devoted, relentless in his grief. He lived and died for love, and in doing so, he became something else. A tragedy, a protector, a legend. Subscribe to The Forgotten Mage for more tales of magic, love, loss, and the legends we leave behind. Because in this world, not all heroes wear smiles. Some wear shadows,